We go. Hi there, and welcome to the Echo Solar Home Tour. My name is Andrew Mills, and today we'll be talking about the Southland Solar home in the Southwood neighborhood in Calgary. With me today is Raiko Pavic, who is the homeowner. Welcome to the Echo Solar Home Tour, Raiko.
Thank you, Andrew. Nice to be here.
So your home's an example of an energy efficient home that features some upgrades to the lighting, and you've done your partially upgraded your windows. But it also has 6.6 kilowatts of solar, and you want to show us an electric vehicle today. So give me a bit of background on why you chose to upgrade your home like this. What were the main things you were trying to accomplish?
So we were just trying to make the home a little more sustainable and also better to run long term, because obviously stuff like solar system and the electric car is very much a long term play. You do pay quite a bit upfront for the systems, but then operational costs are significantly lower, which of course works for us because it's sort of a security thing, right? When you know you can invest into these systems, then you know that you're more secure, going to be more energy secure down the road. You're not dependent on crazy gas prices like we have right now, and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we were aiming to do. Two things is basically sustainability on the level of actual environment and lowering the emissions, but also on a financial level, where we're going to be more financially secure as the time goes on.
Well, that's really interesting. Now, give me a bit of background on some of the other features that you've got here. So let's take a look. What would you say is the standout feature of your home right now?
So I would say still the standout feature of the home would be the 6.6 solar kilowatt solar array that we have installed on top of the pergola on top of the garage, because that feeds the vehicle, but it also feeds our home. And for example, for the past year, we've been about net zero in terms of how much energy we produced through the solar. And
net zero in electricity only, or
electricity only so far.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is the system a little bit up close. We decided to go with bifacial panels, which are panels that you can see. Of course, the cells are very much silicone and non-transparent, but they're encased in a transparent glass. So what it does is basically allows still sun to come through, because the space underneath the pergola for us is going to be a deck. So we still want to enjoy the sunshine, at least to a certain extent. So it's kind of a shading. So it works very nicely. You'll see in some of the photos here. And you can see the inverters on these photos. What the system uses is microinverters in sets of 4. So basically 4 panels go to a single inverter. So the system has 5 inverters because there's 18 panels.
Interesting. Yeah, so these particular solar modules, they have glass on the back, where usually it's a plastic sheet. And by putting glass on the back, it allows the light to come through the gaps between the solar cells. That looks very nice. I really like the look of that.
Yeah, and it's funny because that is not the purpose actually of bifacial panels. The purpose of bifacial panels is it lets the light through, and then the light reflects off whatever is in the back and hits the panels from the other side. So they actually produce a little bit more.
Right.
It's just for our purpose, they work really well, almost because of the visual, not because of the function.
Interesting.
Yeah, and the bifacial systems usually cost slightly more than regular systems, but in an application where you where like we do have basically dual purpose system. Like in our case, it's a solar system, but it's also a cover for the pergola. So that's why we kind of wanted it transparent.
Right.
So yeah, in my opinion, it's completely worth it because it's really nice. And of course, as most solar system nowadays, the installers give you access to the application, which will give you data for your current production, your daily production, your monthly production, yearly production, of course, and all that stuff. So you can kind of watch how your system is performing and all that stuff.
With the sunny day that you have behind you there today, I'm sure you're making the full 6.6 kilowatts right now.
Well, the solar system actually produces a little bit less because 6.6 is the rating of the DC.
Oh, okay.
So once you turn that into an AC, it's a little bit less. But yes, today was an amazing day, so it's really nice to be outside and enjoy the sun.
Excellent.
And here you can kind of see on the left photo how you can see the sun through the panels. So you can clearly see that the sun is coming through. And then on the right side, it's our neighbor's cat enjoying the shade of the solar panels and the strawberries that we have there.
That's a very attractive deck. I'm sure you'll get lots of good times out there. Now, let's take a look. Are there any other features of your home you want to feature today? Perhaps your electric car.
Yeah, so definitely second biggest defining thing of the home would be an electric car that's powered by those solar panels. So what that allows us to do is not only offset a lot of the emissions that go with creating the energy for powering the home, but also in creating a lot of energy that moves the vehicle. So in our case, it's a battery electric vehicle, which means it's fully powered by electricity. There is no gas engine or anything. So basically, we just power the car with the electricity that we produce, and that way we kind of set the best. Sorry. And the vehicle we have is the Kia Soul EV. Oh, sorry. Kia Soul EV 2016. We got it used, and that's our main family vehicle.
So I'm very interested now. This garage, now your pergola and your deck are actually above the garage, and that's level with your house. Is that right? With your backyard. So you're set into a hill a bit off the back.
Yes, that's right. So if you look at our house from the south side, it's basically 3 levels. So the backyard that you're seeing, or sorry, the back lane that you're seeing here is 1 level, and then the second level is basically part of our backyard where the pergola is, and then the third level is our grass portion, if you want to call it, of the backyard and the actual house. So it's like kind of it's on a slope, so that's what allows kind of.
I think that also gives you really good sun exposure too, because this is all facing south, right?
Yes, exactly. And the big part actually why we wanted to put the solar not on the house itself, but on the pergola is because around the house we have 2 really big trees. You can actually see one of them behind me there. Yeah. And actually on this photo on the screen right now, you can see both. Right. So if we put the system on top of the house, those 2 trees would be shading a lot of the system, both in the morning from this side and from the west in the afternoon. So that's why we chose to do in front of the garage, because garage is a lot more forward and there's absolutely nothing in front of it. In front of us, basically over there is a Southland Drive, so there's no trees or anything for probably about 100 meters or so to the other side of the Southland. So that's why the solar pergola gets a lot of sun during the whole day.
That's a great idea. Okay.
Yeah, and this is just a closer look at the charger. We went with the Flow X5, but there's a lot of chargers available, and a lot of them have the applications where you can stop charging, you can start your charge, you can monitor the consumption, etc., etc.
It's interesting. It says station available. That this isn't a public station, though, is it?
No, it is not. It's just in a different tab of the Flow application, but yeah, it's only basically available to me and sometimes my wife.
Very interesting.
Yes, and this is the car, basically where it lives and where it charges.
So that's an interesting garage. Now, I'm looking in there and I'm seeing these red power lines. What's the red for? I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah, so I just covered the flexible conduits
Yeah, yeah.
with red wire loom to basically just showcase the high voltage lines in the garage. Just basically to make it a little bit more fun, because we know the garages are fairly boring. So
Right.
just
Well, it's got a fairly good roof height as well. So it's, even though it's built into a hill, it's not that short. It's actually looks good. It's got way
thank you.
less junk in it than mine too.
We try. And here's a good photo from Southland Drive. This was during the construction. So you can see that the two panels are actually missing on the top left and the top right. Right now the system is rectangular and has 18 panels. On this photo, it's only 16 panels that it's showing.
That's really interesting. I can see all the trees that you have in the backyard as well. Those must get it. Those would have gotten away if you'd put it on the house. That's a really nice design. Well, I want to thank you, Raiko, today for joining me and sharing pictures of your home and your lovely solar system and car. I am looking forward to coming and seeing these on the tour someday. I also want to thank our Echo Solar Home Tour sponsors. Our sponsors offer many interesting services to help you build an energy efficient home, and we encourage you to visit them. Please visit our website to find the links to all of our sponsors. To find out more about our tour homes, tour dates, and sponsors, please go to our website at www.ecosolar.ca, and we'll see you on the tour. Thanks very much for watching.